I think we've now discussed each of these business offerings, alag se. I wanted to focus on the more totality of it, of the vision of Paytm being a super app, right?
Yeah.
And क्या बोलते, the only thing that makes sense to me right now is that they're just trying to be jack of all trades, master of none. Because the whole concept of super app, no matter how successful it is in, let's say, China, I don't think that happening in India. At least I don't see myself using, because I'd prefer a Book My Show and a Redbus and IRCTC app and alag say Zerodha than using a Paytm money, at least from my
Yeah.
end. That's probably because I never have been a loyal customer of Paytm. But how do you think the whole thesis of this Paytm actually becoming a super app, can it play out well or not in India, when loyalty isn't really something that Indians are proud of?
So I think the Chinese super app model, especially, they did not start out with commerce, and I think this is a very basic thing that most of us forget. We humans do not like to be sold anything,
Hmm.
and the Chinese, I have to give them credit, realized this quite early on in the game, because both the super apps that you see in China, they started out with the social aspect of it first. So
Hmm.
they went about building their social sites first, making sure that those interactions are in place before they ventured into, everything else that surrounds what we do in our day-to-day lives.
Hmm.
That is a key aspect that's missing in. That's why probably we do not have a super app in India either. A, we do not have any Indian social apps first, which have that much of traction. So I
Hmm.
think it's very difficult for us to stay engaged on one platform for very long. And yes, you mentioned
Okay.
this very correctly. We are deal hunters by nature. We do want to see, even if we do have, a super app installed, we want to see, are kahi aur pe are we getting it for 10 rupees lesser or whatever. We're willing to
Hmm.
spend, the extra 5 minutes in understanding ki haan discount hai ki nahi kahi aur pe, than being loyal to one particular app. So the super app, while it's a great dream to have, if it happens, I'd be very happy for them. But I don't see how they're going to do it unless they start giving better discounts than most other merchants. So
Mhm.
yeah,
So I think you've summed up very well, because Paytm per se is not really ingrained in क्या बोलते blood of, let's say, Indians compared to a WeChat in China. That's primarily because
yeah,
they started off as a social media network and eventually moved into e-commerce and everything. Now even them with their and financial group ki integration, it will also become a payment thing. And
yeah.
this is in comparison to Paytm, which started off as a payment, not something very like everyday use wala thing, especially back then. And now it's not that easy for them to become, which is, I think, a very, very good analysis that you've made here.